What's going on, everybody? Jake here with Bandit Fitness Equipment, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Hoist V4 Elite Home Gym, one of Hoist's premium home gym offerings. We're going to look at some of the unique features that Hoist has on their products, as well as some really cool attachments that'll make this thing even more versatile. Let's get into it. So let's start with the main unit itself, which is the whole core you see here in the center. Now, this is the V4 Elite. If you're looking online and you're seeing a Hoist V1, note they are pretty much the same machine. The only difference is the V4 has the addition of these outrigger arms. And I'll talk more about those just in a few minutes, but if there's any comparison confusion, that is the difference. But let's jump into it right here with the press arm itself. Now, it's set up in the front here for more of a chest press position, and you have a lot of different angles to work with. You've got, a high and a low for your straight on, you've got your neutral, and you even have, it's kind of probably hard to see right now, but this bottom portion is actually curved outwards this way, and that's when you have this in the rowing position, it actually makes it a little more comfortable. So you've got 9 positions you can play with, putting it all the way back, either to get it out of the way or to get it into a rowing position. Like I was saying, those bottom pieces, since they're angled, they make it a little bit more comfortable when you're in this type of movement. So if you don't want your back to be compromised, you can have a nice chest support. There are a lot of adjustments right through here as well. I like a machine that has a lot of adjustments. It means more people can use it. So pull out here. I don't have to pull on any tabs. It does that automatically. But then I can push in this tab, and now I have angles to work with. So these angles are really good. You've got 7 angles. So if you want to do more of an incline movement or a shoulder press movement, it just, again, gives you a lot more adjustment. So push all the way back here. Now, this point right here, this seems really minor, but this is something that I'm seeing more and more home gym companies kind of veer away from, which is a center pulley, predominantly for abdominal crunches, but it is nice if you want it for just a center pulley for face pulls, whatever you might have. It's nice that it's included. And they actually even have a good plastic coating, so you're not running the risk of any metal hitting on the side frame and scratching the paint. HighPulley right here for your lat pull down. Not really much to say about it. I mean, it's a HighPulley. Feels good, no issue. Again, nice and smooth. Not really a whole lot to talk about because, it's pretty much standard what you'd think. But the one thing that is unique to not just this gym, but Hoist gyms in general, are these 2 outrigger arms, which I mentioned a little bit earlier. With these types of systems, they fall into what we call machine defined, which means it's a preset range of motion designed for the broad audience. But when you have these, you can flip them out, and you now have more of a user defined. And that means that I, as the user, can choose what angles, what width, or how narrow I want to be. So now when I'm doing stuff like a bench press, it feels a little bit more like dumbbells in the fact that I have all this wobble that's happening, which means that I have to focus more on not just my chest, but also my biceps and triceps to not do this. I can kind of keep them in one spot, or I can go inwards if I want to have more of a neutral grip, or I can go wide if I want to do more of a fly. Now, these are not going to fall, which is kind of what my worry was initially, but they go down pretty easily, so you can leave them there. Or if you want to put them away without getting off of the seat, pro tip, you bring them up and you actually just twist them into place. So bring up here, twist, good to go. But let's jump into the leg portion. Now, most any home gym is going to have this type of apparatus on the bottom. And this is where I think the degree of quality is going to be the biggest gap, because you'll find really low quality pieces, really high quality. This is thankfully on that higher side. So you have some good upholstery, good cushion. You get inside of here. And honestly, it feels very smooth. And I actually am at the top level. I have 2 more adjustments. I could bring it down if I really wanted to get more range of motion. So that's good. It's not just one range of motion in each section. Now, with this, you can also bring this up here if you wanted to do a seated leg curl. So the idea is you put your legs under here, and if you've got massive quads like me, it's kind of hard to get in and out of. But for the average user, shouldn't be a problem. Right through there, nice curls. Again, for a seated leg curl on a home gym, This is actually really good. I will forewarn though, while this is to help you get it up and get it down, you will knock the crap out of your shins with this more times than you'll care for. It's right there, it sticks out in a beautiful shin height. I've whacked my knees on it several times just making this video, and a lot more when I was building the machine. So just keep that in mind. If you're going over, swing your leg to get it out of the way. Let's shoot over here to the leg press. Now the leg press is really nice because it builds onto the same weight stack. It's just one cable goes inside of there. This comes with a 150-pound weight stack. You can upgrade it to 200. I'm going to tell you right now, on this or any type of machine, if you ever think you're going to need the heavier weight stack, just get it in the beginning. It's a lot more of a headache to put the weight stack on afterwards because the whole system has to come out just to put the extra on the bottom. So you can bring this from 150 to 200, just do it at the beginning, that way you're never limiting yourself. Now, as I slide onto the leg press, this is a good leg press, especially for a home gym because they're bringing a lot of components off of their commercial line onto this, specifically off of their ROC-IT series. If you ever got a gym and you've seen that equipment where the seat moves as you're doing the movement, that is the Hoist ROC-IT series. And I'll give you an example right here. So as you can see, the whole seat moves as I'm going through the movement. And that, along with the other pieces in the ROC-IT series, is meant to keep constant tension in the areas that it matters, rather than having, these gaps where it's low resistance and really high and then really low. This is meant to keep it much more consistent. And again, for home gym attachment, it's actually not that bad. You have a big plate, so you're not worrying about the width. Like I can go pretty wide if I really needed to. Seat adjustment is going to be exactly the same as on the chest press. I can just pull it right through there. I don't have to get up just to pull it forwards. Obviously I have to pull the pin if I want to shoot it backwards. But again, it's a real easy mechanism to do. Let's shoot over lastly to the final attachment you can do, which this is one that I have some thoughts about. This is a high-low pulley. It works essentially like 1/2 of a functional trainer. So you're going to have a single spot here, adjustment with one hand. Now it is counterweighted, which makes it really easy. And it's not just because I'm really strong. This actually is a really good setup. So I can bring it really high and have it set up if I want to do more of a pull. I can bring it all the way down if I want more of a curling motion. And it's really good. It doesn't take up that much extra space by the way that it curves out. I will be honest, it's not going to be as smooth as a standalone unit, and you really shouldn't expect it to though. The versatility it adds for the price point is really good. And that's something I want to talk about as far as how much space this takes up, because this whole system, how it sits, is only about 8 feet wide. If you get the base unit without the attachments, it's only like 4 feet wide. So fitting any of those, all of this functionality in one space, that's really, really good, because in a home gym setting, which is most likely where this is going to go for the majority of people, square footage is very premium, and this uses that really well. Now, if you're going to build this by yourself, because that's another aspect, is in a home gym setting, you might be looking to do the assembly on your own, save a little bit of money, make it faster. I will tell you, it will not be faster. Our guys, our assemblers who have built hundreds of these types of machines, 2 guys, it's about 3 to 5 hours, realistically. But again, they've built hundreds of these. They're very efficient. They know exactly where all the tricks are. If you're building it on your own with 2 people, you're going to want to budget at least 4, as much as 8 hours on this. So I really encourage you, if you have the option available, just pay a professional company to do the install. They're going to do it faster. It's going to be a lot less stress and headache on your side. As the person who pretty much built the majority of this machine, I will tell you, it is a very stressful build. Once it's together, it's a great system, but in the building process, it's not as much fun. So let someone else do it. I think that'll be a little bit easier for you. But overall, that's the Hoist V4 Elite. It's a really cool setup, especially for the price and the space it goes inside. if you have any questions on this system or the V1 or anything else really within this category, leave a comment, let us know what you think, what your thoughts are. We'll make sure to answer everything that we see. And if you have the ability to see this machine, especially in a local store, which is where you're going to see this primarily in a setup situation, go and test it. Because while there is a lot of crossover with other home gyms, these outrigger arms, which are pretty much unique to Hoist, you have to use it to really understand how it feels and where the benefits are. So test it if you can. If you're in the local Central Florida area, make sure to stop by our shop in Largo, Florida. We have this obviously on display so you can test it. Like and subscribe. Until next time, train hard.